Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to some more music. This is completely different though. This is evolution of music from 40,000 BC to 2021, and I have done more because I've been doing reactions to the most popular song from each month from the certain decade: 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and I did do one to the 60s, but I couldn't post it. It got blocked. I posted it on my Patreon, as you can see here, but it got blocked because of I don't know what. I think the video was longer, so the songs were played for longer, which is why. But all of it was blocked. If I could have cut out one song here and there, it would have been fine. But all of it was blocked, so I had to post it up to my Patreon. And I see there's a 50s one as well, and the 50s one is long too. But I'm gonna react to that and probably post it into the Patreon as well because I can't post it onto YouTube. But I have really enjoyed doing the music reactions because it's a bit different to the channel, and I'm learning and finding new songs or hearing songs that I knew but I forgot about and this and that. But this goes way back, like way further back than that. This is 40,000 BC. I mean, this is from the start. But I don't know how they would have generated these songs. I don't know how they would have thought of these songs. But I guess it's like a sort of look at how it could have been. And I mean, yeah, we're just gonna check this out. And like I said, the Patreon, you can find that links down in the description. There's a lot of videos on there that you can see of mine, but yeah, sadly I can't post the music videos on here anymore. But we're gonna check this out. We're gonna go through completely different genres. We're gonna see the starts of like the cavemen making music to, I don't know, opera. Opera's like the 1800s, I think. It's just gonna be fascinating. And then when singing started becoming like incorporated into the music, I don't know when, but I feel like that's a lot more recent, singing and stuff. But obviously opera is singing. But yeah, we're just gonna see. Hopefully, going to enjoy, and yeah, let's just see from when it started. Hopefully, this can be posted on to YouTube. This might get blocked as well, but I hope it doesn't. But yeah, let's check this out. Evolution of music. God damn, this is where it all comes from. Prehistoric flute. Um. Hymn of Lipit Ishtar. Wait, is this like the music notes of what the song is? What? Oh, so they're singing here. They're using their voices here. I didn't realize they'd be incorporating it so soon. Like singing and stuff. God damn. Still 500 years before Christ. Go on. It's a vibe. So now AD. It sort of seems like it took a step back. Like it was like a lot more like different to what I thought it would have been in like the few ones before this. But then it seems like it sort of went back to sort of what it sounded like before. This was just what music was like back in these times. Crazy to think, man. Is it all like religious, like religion related? All the music's based around religion and stuff. I feel like at this point, seems very holy. This is the first real singing, isn't it? They're like going for it here. When was Beethoven around and stuff like that? Like opera music like that? Or classic music? It's just so weird to think of this was all like the music, what we have now. Some people might think this was better than what we have now, but it's just so like, it's all so similar. Like it has its all different features and stuff, but it's all so similar. And like, would people dance to this, or would it again just be at sort of holy ceremonies and just holy like in like church and stuff, or would it be for like partying and having fun and doing all this? People party back in these days, maybe not just the rich people, but even then, would that be the sort of music they're playing at like parties for rich people and stuff like? This is when you have like a choir, you've got someone playing the choir. Henry VIII. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is where classic music comes in, right? And takes over. So it's really fascinating, right? How they had singing and then they went away from singing. They probably thought the instrument's better than the singing, so they went like, this is like the focus at this point, or the music that's shown. It's all like just classic music. It's just focused on the instrument, not on the voice. So I do wonder when they went back to trying to focus on the voice. I know this one. Crazy how this music is still memorized now. Crazy. This song is from 1740. Oh my god, what? Hallelujah, hallelujah. Now I know all of these. The 1700s was important for music. All of it was, but... '71, bro. I've known all of these other than one. I am so baffled by that. Mozart. Mozart was the GOAT in these days. So many songs are so recognizable. This is so wild to me. It's so recognizable. Mozart was crazy. I mean, obviously, I know you know that because you hear these songs and all that, but I didn't realize they were all from Mozart and all from this long ago. It's now singing slowly being incorporated again. Beethoven. Dun. Who was bigger, Mozart or Beethoven? They're a bit different eras. Beethoven sort of carried on the sort of music, but with more singing and stuff. But who was bigger? Who made more tunes, more recognisable songs? I'm joking when I say that, but honestly, who was bigger, or were they both seen in the same way? Probably. This is quick.
The Camptown ladies sing this song, doo-da, doo-da.
What? Doo-da. I know that. This was from 1850. And this is a complete difference. From 45 to 50, this is a complete different sound.
The Camptown ladies sing this song, doo-da, doo-da. Camptown racetrack,
Doo-da,
ah, doo-da day.
What the fuck? 1850? That has blown my mind. Is this a Star Wars song? What the hell? I thought they made the Star Wars song for Star Wars. I've not watched Star Wars properly, but I know the theme tune. What the hell? I know this one. See, this is more focused on singing and I guess this is more focused on like war. But it's crazy. Obviously, this music, classic music, is old school. Like, it's all like a lot of the well-known ones are old, if not all. But I didn't realize all of these ones that I'm hearing would have been from this long ago. Dun, 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 dun. So there's a few that are quite like, I don't know what's the word, because the last one was the US one. It was talking about like marching home and stuff, and I know the song, but they seem quite like patriotic songs. So at this point, we've got religious sort of songs, like songs or like holy songs, and now it's slowly sort of turning into this. And so far, I mean, would any of these songs so far, would these musicians have been famous in their times? Like Mozart, would he have performed at shows and like had massive crowds like paying for him, and he would have been like well known, his face would have been known and all this stuff? Or I mean, I assume he would have been, because that stuff is so well known now. I'm assuming back in those times he would have been huge as well. But like, would he have performed these massive theatre shows, done all this stuff? I mean, it's probably a stupid question, but you see how music is now and how these musicians are all so famous and just all this stuff. They do all these shows. I'm assuming people like Mozart would have been doing that sort of stuff, but how, obviously not to the same extremes, because you've got the internet now and all this stuff. But so now we're approaching the 1900s, or the 2000s, 20th century. That's what I mean. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You're a grand old rag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave.
So fuzzy.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Bruh. Wow. Jazz music? Forgot about jazz music. What the fuck?
Was all aglow, and heaven was in your eyes.
What can you say in a love song that hasn't been
This is
said
crazy.
before?
See, this makes more sense. Like 1930, this song, like 100 years old, like 90 years old or so, or 85 years old or so. But this could easily been sort of, you could hear this, and I'd hear it the same way as I've heard the other ones that were all like in the 1800s. But I guess classic music, you can't really differentiate when it was made because it's all like the same instruments. They've not really changed it. That's the one sort of type of music you can't really differentiate because it's just been going on for so long. Da, da, da. This is from, what's it called? What's the film called? Oh my god, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. I am so baffled, I forgot what it's called. It's probably the most famous film. I can't remember what it's called, for God's sake. So now it's, we're slowly seeing the transition into like music being more like commercial and stuff at this point. Like it's recorded, this and that. And I mean maybe not even that because recordings was just made at this point. Before it wasn't possible, but you're seeing now the opportunities for it to be commercialized, and it's slowly turning into what we know today. But even now, the 1940s is so different.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Give me 5 minutes
Frank
more,
Sinatra.
only 5 minutes more. Feeling good this morning, I feel like I wanna rock a while.
You women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore.
This is from 54. Oh my days, this is really making me rethink things. This song is that old. Bum, bum.
The falling leaves drift by the window.
I've reacted to this for the first time on my Patreon, but now I'm seeing this and the songs around it. I can see how this was so far ahead of its time. Because everything about it, I wouldn't have assumed it was from 57 when I reacted to it. And the sound of it compared to the other sounds, it's so much better. I mean, not saying the other ones aren't good, but it just sounds, you can see how it like stood out. Yeah, I can see why that stood out and why it was so like, but that music was so loved, right? Johnny B. Good. Go, Johnny, go. What the hell?
Put your head on my shoulder.
His voice though, god damn.
Hold me in your arms, baby. When the night has come
Tune.
and the land is dark.
He did the mash,
He did the monster mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
It's crazy now. From this point onwards, every 5 years the genres would completely change. It's you can sort of see from the last 20 years it slowly started to pick up, but from now onwards the genres are just completely different. It's changing and changing constantly to the point where we are now, where there's so many different genres. But this is what like led to this, right? All of these things from the past is what led to all of this for what we have now.
And the flames went higher.
The Beatles. The music's getting louder as well. And also, I'm pausing a lot. I apologise. I just have a lot to say. with this sort of music, you can see how these are like the biggest bands from their times because they stand out. They're so different from the previous eras. Like Elvis, it was so different from the previous years. The Beatles, so different from the previous years. The Rolling Stones, so different from the previous years. It's all so different, and it stands out. And it's a different sort of style of music. And then I can just see how the younger generations probably hear it and they can sort of associate to I don't know, they just like it, whatever, because it's a different sound, but it's a cool sound, and you like how it is. And that's just how it was, right? But you see how these iconic bands really blew up because you look back at them now and you hear it, and some of the songs, like when I listen to the Beatles, I'm like, I don't understand why they were so big. That's sort of in my head because I've not heard much of them, I've not heard much of them. But when I did, I just never really understood why they were that big. But then you hear the music around it, and you can see like, okay, so this is what the sort of genre, the sort of how music was back in these days, and this is how different it was, and how much change they made to the music industry and stuff. And you could understand how they became so big and how they were so popular in their time. You know, it's probably how people are going to look at music from the current day in 50 years time. I mean, music current day, people have opinions on it, right? But in 50 years time, they're going to look back on it and be like, what the hell was going on there? Who's this Drake guy? Why was he so big? You know, like all this sort of stuff.
The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down away. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay. It ain't me, I ain't no Saturday star. Oh, yeah.
It's trippy as hell. Okay, yep. And again, within 5 years, it's completely changed. The music's changed, and it's just constantly advancing and changing, and all this sort of stuff.
Welcome to the Hotel California. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? Still I get home, I'm a rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I'm on the highway to hell. On the highway.
I watched the live performance of this in Argentina, and it was crazy, man. Absolutely wild. Ozzy Osbourne. Talk about that name. Believe it. Now we're getting more pop music. So yeah, from the 19th century, no, the 20th century, it just went crazy. Music just went absolutely crazy. God damn. Imagine Mozart hearing this music. Imagine how confused he'd be. Or confused. Mozart was a man, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like a female's name. Would be so confused. Or Beethoven, or even before that, the flipping caveman that started it. Or imagine them hearing this, they'd be so confused. They'd be so confused. Now this is the rock phase, right?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain.
Bro, imagine Henry VIII listening to this. Instead of that Henry VIII song that we heard, imagine him listening to this. That'd be so wild. Oh, man. I would pay to see that sort of thing. Obviously, it's never going to happen, obviously, but just the idea of it would be incredible. Yeah.
Get your game on, go play. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. No, what are you on the wall? How are you on disorder? You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let go. Wake me up inside. Wake me up.
What a song, man. I don't know half of these. It's definitely rock based, the video. This person definitely has a very favoured genre, that's for sure. I've not heard Slipknot before. I've never heard any Slipknot in my life. It's just one. It's just all rock or heavy metal or whatever. Oh god. Yeah, and this is just all music that we know at this point, right? From the 70s onwards. I hate this. We've gone from the flipping start to this. It's just crazy. When I hear the last one, I'm just going to go back and just hear it one more time. Such a bad song. Madness. Imagine them when they're making music in these times, editing the music to make it sound better and all this sort of stuff from the very start. All from this. Would people have been dancing to this and stuff? Like, it's a crazy idea, but I mean, if that's what you had back then, of course you were going to. But the evolution of music. This was fun experience. I enjoyed this a lot, to be fair. But if you want more reactions to music stuff, let me know in the comments. Obviously, some gets blocked. Hopefully, this doesn't get blocked, because I mean, I like posting this stuff on YouTube. If it does, obviously, you're watching this on the Patreon. If it isn't, you're watching this on YouTube, then thank God for that. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.